word by word meaning. Diti Vacha. The beautiful Diti said, Na, not, may, my, Garbham, pregnancy, Imam, this, Brahman, O Brahmana, Bhutanam, of all living entities, Rishabha, the noblest, Avadit, let him kill, Rudraha, Lord Shiva, Patihi, master, he certainly, Bhutanam, of all living entities, Asia, those, Akaravam, I have done, Amhasam, offense. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The beautiful Diti said, my dear Brahmana, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva. The Lord is all living entities because of the great offense I have committed against him. Diti was conscious of her offense and was anxious to be executed, to be excused by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has two popular names, Rudra and Ashutosha. He is very prone to anger as well as quickly pacified. Diti knew that because of his being quickly angered, he might spoil the pregnancy he had so unlawfully achieved. But because he was also Ashutosha, she implored her Brahmana husband to help her in pacifying Lord Shiva. For her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In other words, Lord Shiva might have been angry with Diti because she obliged her husband to transgress the law. But he would not refuse her husband's prayer. Therefore, the application for excuse was submitted through her husband. She prayed to Lord Shiva as follows. Very wonderful sloka. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatyate Shadarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are all discussing this Diti's pastime last few days, how Diti was not able to control her desires and emotions. And now, after her association with the Kasyapa Muni, she was realized that she have committed an offense against him. And then she is requesting her husband to pray Lord Shiva. And she here in this sloka, Srila Prabhupada explained two wonderful qualities of Lord Shiva. One is Rudra and other one is Ashutosha. Lord Shiva will get angry very easily for even small things. We saw many pastimes in fourth canto. And at the same time, he is Ashutosha. He can quickly pacified. So here, Diti was asking her husband, because you are a pure devotee of Lord Shiva, with your prayers, he may excuse us or excuse him, excuse her, because he is a pure devotee. So she's taking the positive side of Lord Shiva, and she's trying to get excused by Lord Shiva by her offense. Here in this sloka, we can learn many things, but we'll try to focus few important lessons that we can take from this sloka. Number one is, she is realized her mistake, her offense. Repentance. That is very, very important. Sometimes, even though people committed offenses or committed mistakes, they will never realize. In Nectar of Instruction, Srila Prabhupada explained this one in the purport of first verse. Some people will realize by hearing. If you tell something, this is not good, this is good, they will realize and they will not do any mistakes. Here, same thing happened. Kashyapa Muni explained in the previous slokas, this is not right time to associate. Lord Shiva is here. Lord Shiva has 3 eyes. One is sun, moon, and one is sun, and one is fire. You cannot escape in the radar of Lord Shiva's eyes. Even though you commit mistake, he will come and punish. He explained many things, but she did not listen. So her intelligence is dominated by her emotional force, her desires. So she was not able to convince it by Kashyapa Muni. Similarly, in the material world also same thing will happen. In the initial phases, in the mode of Tamoguna, they will not even realize their mistakes. Even though they commit offenses, even though they commit mistakes, they will keep doing. They don't even bother about that. Even though if they're hurting themselves, even though if they're hurting others, they don't even bother. They will just doing the same thing. So Prabhupada is explaining in that Nectar of Instruction, first verse purport, some people will realize by hearing. Some people will realize by seeing, oh, that person did that, commit that mistake, that's why he's suffering. By seeing, they will realize. And some people, they don't even realize, even after hearing, even after seeing. So if you take some thieves, their neighborhood or their parents or their well-wishers, they will tell, don't do this, this is a mistake. He will not realize. And he will see the other thieves get caught and they were punished by the police or government. Even he will not realize. Some foolish people, even they put them into the punishment in the jail, also they will not realize. Prabhupada is explained, this is a kind of atonement, prayashchitta. Some people, will go to church, temple, mosque, they will ask forgiveness. Whatever the mistakes I committed, please forgive me. But that is temporary. They will not realize their mistakes permanently, and they will never ever try to remove that bad desires or that bad tendency of committing mistakes. That is not a perfect process of atonement. Perfect thing is we should completely eradicate those mistakes from ourselves. Then only we can become a perfect person. Here, Diti, at least she is in some mode of goodness. She realized her mistake, and she is asking forgiveness for her offense. We should adopt this nature. Even in our Vaishnava community, we may commit offenses for our fellow Vaishnavas, or sometimes we do offenses ourselves, like 10 offenses of the holy name. So by this offense, we may hurt others or we may hurt ourselves. So one should realize, first thing, how this realization will come. This realization will come by Shastra. Karya Vavasthatau. In Bhagavad Gita, it is explaining that Shastra Vidhanaktam. If you read the Shastra, if you read the scriptures, you will understand Karya Akarya. What is good and what can do and what we should not do. So these two will be realized by Karya Avastito and with devotee association and with your intelligence. If your intelligence is developed, you will easily realize, did you hurt anybody, or with your actions is anybody got hurted? So the minute you realize, or the minute you understand, I offended someone or I caused some damage here, then immediately one should go and ask and forgiveness. That is the proper etiquette. One should not ignore, oh, I am senior devotee, he is a junior devotee, it's okay, I am in that position, I can offend or I can do anything. No. One should, the minute you realize, immediately you go and ask forgiveness. Sometimes with the shyness or with the too much humility or too much meekness, one should not even ready to go and ask offense. Oh, I am a fallen soul. I never come out of these mistakes. I will keep, I don't know, in this life, I will keep doing this kind of mistakes. Let me pray. And with their shyness, they should not, they will not go to the person who they committed offense or some hurt. They will never go and say, but that is the wrong way. We should not shy or we should not feel low to ask forgiveness. That is a perfect quality of Vaishnava. No matter how low you are, no matter how big you are, if you realize you committed some mistake, just go and forgiveness. The forgiveness will relieve us. The forgiveness will make us realize, don't do that mistake again. If you do not ask forgiveness, you will feel it's okay. We can do this kind of mistakes. We will keep committing same mistakes and again. The minute you commit, the minute you go and ask forgiveness, then the realization, the correction process will start. oh, I did this mistake, I should not repeat this mistake again. So here, Diti is in the mode of goodness, we can say. She realized her mistake and she's asking forgiveness. Mm. But in the mode of passion, he will keep doing the same mistakes. He will never realize. In Tamoguna, he don't even realize that he is doing mistakes. So we should not be in that one. How can we develop this kind of nature? With association, with reading scriptures. By association, by seeing other devotees or by behavior, we can easily adapt that one. Even in Ishopanishad, 18th sloka also telling that the living entity is praying, my dear Lord, I have committed so many mistakes, so many troubles I created in this world. Please forgive me so that I can come to your lotus feet. Lord is ready to accept our mistakes. Whatever the abominable activities that living entity committed, Lord is ready to accept it. Only when you surrender. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja ahantvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyami masuchaha. The minute you surrender, the Lord is ready to forgive all the mistakes the living entity is committed. Sarva papebhyo moksheshyami masuchaha. Don't fear. You realized, you surrendered, that itself is great achievement. Once you surrender, all your sinful actions are excused. That doesn't mean like we will commit mistakes again. So one should not do mistakes again. Like Prabhupada explained, this nature of tendency, they will do all atonement and all surrenderance, and after that again they will do commit mistakes, like hatisnan, like elephant bath. The elephant, what it will do is, it will go to a big water pool, and she will clean, elephant will take clean bath like more than 1 hour, and the minute come out of that pool, again pour the dirt on her. Similarly, once we surrender or once we accept our mistake, the realized soul should not repeat that mistake. If you keep on repeating that mistake, no one will forgive us. Srila Prabhupada explained in many of his lectures, with our purva vasana, means with our old habits or with our old lifestyle, even though one take the path of devotion, with the influence of old desires or with the influence of old habits, the living entities sometimes they commit mistakes. But that doesn't mean he fallen down. He should realize that, and he should come out of that mistake soon and bring back his devotional service as it is. Otherwise, Krishna also will never forgive. Prabhupada told this same sentence many of his lectures. Sometimes devotee may fall down because of his old habits, but he should realize and bring back his seriousness and devotion, and continue his purity. Otherwise, Krishna also will never forgive. Even if you see whole Srimad Bhagavatam, we see same thing, committing mistakes and realizing the mistakes and asking forgiveness. any pastime you take. If you take Indra, Indra was so much puffed up with ahankara, with his proudness. And the minute he realized that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, he surrendered and he offered his obeisances, and he himself is telling that I'm a fool, I'm proud, please forgive me, please accept me, your servant. And he realized, and he never ever express do commit those mistakes. Similarly, Brahma also was so much puffed up with his creation nature. He stolen all his gopas and gopis, and after that he realized that Krishna is not an ordinary boy. He is a supreme personality of Godhead. He came and he offered obeisances, and then he realized, and he became a servant of Krishna, and he continued his duties. So similarly, any pastime you take, whole Srimad Bhagavatam is the lessons for us. What is good, to understand what is good, what is bad, and how to overcome these shortcomings. The perfect example is Jagai Madai. Jagai Madai are their number one rascals. They are most abominable souls in this planet, you can say. The Jagai Madai, even though they are so much rogues, with the association of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, within 1 minute, they realized that they are doing wrong. They are committing mistakes. Their lifestyle is wrong. 1 minute, just they realized. And they stopped doing all abominable activities, and they surrendered to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not only that, they realized and they asked, my dear Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I committed so many mistakes, and I hurted so much of all the living entities in this Navadip Dhama. How can I overcome these shortcomings? Then Nityananda Prabhu ordered him, all the people in this area are suffering to take Ganges bath, go and construct a ghat, a path, stone path, so that people can go to the Ganges easily and take bath and come back. So even if you go, there is a Madai Ghat. So they realized, and they did not go back and took up the same old sinful activities. And that is not a perfect way. So the pure Vaishnava, even though he commit mistakes, he will realize and he will come back, and he will focus on his purity. Similarly, we do so many offenses ourselves, like committing offenses against the holy name. We do so many things, even though we completely surrender to Guru and Krishna, we will, even though our whole body, everything is surrendered to Krishna, and we think this body is ours, and we will try to engage some sense gratificatory activities. So, but the minute you read the scriptures, the minute you take the association, the minute you do sadhana perfectly, these Maya mistakes or this Maya influence will not come to us, and that Maya will not influence us, and we can strongly move forward. So Maya is very dangerous. Even if you give a pinch of opportunity, it will come and it will encourage commit mistakes again and again. So we need to stop the Maya enter into our lives. So the example is like if you take any big vehicle, car or a bus or a truck, it is very strong until there was no hole onto the tire. If there is a small hole on a tire, the whole car is broken. Car cannot move. A small hole, if you see puncture hole, it's a small nail or small thrown, very small hole. But one small hole spoiled whole system of the car, or it causes breakdown. Similarly, if a small pinch of Maya enter into our consciousness, slowly the fall down will start. So to counteract that Maya, our acharyas gave some prescription. Some prescription. What is that prescription? Every day we need to take some antibiotics, spiritual antibiotics. What is that? First one is attentive chanting, and second one is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Here every day Bhagavatam or read Bhagavatam and follow 4 regulative principles. Attend Mangalarati, attend Tulasi Arati, and strengthen your morning sadhana, and automatically you will get energy to counteract the Maya, and Maya will not enter, and we can easily control our emotions, our desires, and we can sharpen our intelligence. If you sharpen our intelligence, automatically we can easily dominate our emotional force. Yeah, so most of the people will commit mistakes because of the emotional force. So that emotions can be controlled by sharpening our intelligence and by our sincere sadhana. If you do these two, we can easily become a nice Vaishnava, and we can serve nicely Guru and Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for giving a wonderful opportunity to talk a few words about this verse. Any questions, you can open up. Or else we can post into Nityam Bhagava Sevaya WhatsApp group. Over to Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you, HG Gopikanta. I'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. Tomorrow is Ekadasi, minimally fasting from grains and beans and increasing our Krishna consciousness. I'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Shri Narsingha, Jai Narsingha, Jai Jai Narsingha, Radhe Padma Ugravira
Mahavishnu Mangalantam Sarvatomukham Narsingham
Narsingha Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Radha ki
Jai.
Let us offer our humble obeisance to all Vaishnava. Vancha
Kalpatarvasya Kripasundravaya Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnava
Jai.
Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol.